Alright, so recently there's been a lot of questions about if Driving Empire is the best Roblox car game, racing game, whatever you want to call it. I want to kind of answer that in this video. Now there's 10 main points to consider the best racing game overall. So if we get straight into this, we have number 1 being gameplay mechanics. Number 2 is variety of cars and tracks. Number 3 is graphics and sound. Number 4 is realism versus arcade. Number 5 is multiplayer and online features. 6 is, instead of multiplayer, it's single player experience. 7 is innovation and features. 8 is accessibility. 9 is replayability. And then number 10 is the overall polish of the game. Now we're gonna go down from number 1 and we're gonna basically go down to number 10 like I was talking about. So the first one, like I said, gameplay mechanics. Driving physics, I don't really know about this too much because I honestly just record for news and maybe some entertaining videos, mostly news. I don't do a lot of racing and stuff like that. To me, the physics on a lot of the cars do feel a little bit arcadey, but then there are some cars that actually do feel realistic and they're not turning too much. This Zenvo here, I feel like turns a little bit too much, very arcadey. It's still semi-realistic, but it's definitely very arcadey. With the gameplay mechanics, it's how well the cars do off-road. And I think this is a major thing in Driving Empire. Any car does well on grass. Any car. Obviously grass makes it a little bit drifty, but any car can literally go up this hill. Look. So if I turn around here, if I just start to go up this hill, cars shouldn't be able to go up. I don't even know what degrees hill this is, but they shouldn't be able to go up this. It's just you shouldn't be able to drive up this. It's just not, I don't know. That's definitely arcadey, and I think they should probably change it to where you have more you have more friction and you're connected to the road, but as soon as you get on the grass, then the tires and everything becomes more drifty. I don't know how to explain it. It is still kind of drifty, but it's not as drifty as it would be in real life. Only off-road cars with off-road tires would be able to go up hills probably like this, but no, any car could just do that, which is very not realistic. And if Driving Empire is trying to go for a realistic thing, they definitely need to change it. Now I know it will make some cars very nerfed and not as good, but that's basically what Driving Empire was back when Borges was having the game. They tried to make it as realistic as possible, which made cars actually really bad handling, and they weren't 180 degrees turning wires basically. So you had to actually be good at driving and you couldn't just hold A and D and turn straight away. And then the last one is customization options, and a lot of these cars, especially licensed cars, have loads of customization stuff, so I don't think this is too big of a problem. You can change the wraps, you can change rims, there's loads of customization for this, and this Zenvo is just an example. You can do upgrades, there's a lot of stuff with this, so I would say the upgrade stuff is fine. It's just the chassis and some of the cars that turn, handle and stuff like that, it's a little bit arcadey. I mean, not a little bit, it is arcadey. The second point is variety of cars. Now I will say, this game has a lot. I don't think the car variety is a problem. If we go into the dealership and we go to brands, we've only been having brands for I think 10 months now, and we already have this many. And it includes Pagani. Obviously we only have one Lamborghini. Got so many brands, so I don't think car variety and selection is a problem, but the tracks are definitely a problem, I think. Realistically, we only have one circuit race. Now it is a really big circuit, but now we've had this map for a while. This circuit race is very old, and people are just too used to it. And like I said, we only have one circuit race. Now I know there's some other races like Rush Hour, which is in the city, but it's still just a box race, I guess. I don't know. I feel when we have this new map, we should have one big circuit race, and then maybe a smaller circuit race to go alongside that. But car design and car collection, selection, whatever, is not a problem, but I feel tracks are maybe getting on there. Graphics and sound, honestly, I don't think are a problem at all. If we turn the sound up a little bit, it's not just with the Zenvo, it's so many other brands as well. The sound is perfectly fine, I'm pretty sure. I don't know any other Roblox game that actually sounds this good. Actually, well, Midnight Racing Tokyo does sound good. But, I mean, like, sounds good and actually has licensed cars. If we take Vehicle Legends, they have licensed cars, they do not sound good, though. But the sounds are definitely not a problem with this. Graphics, I will say, it's not, like, realistic that much. I know they're trying to go for lighting, and I know I have it on, like, daytime. But, like, the lighting isn't too big of a problem, but I do think that you should be able to, like, have a bar or, like, something where you can change the time of day, like, not just by clicking this, because these are only set times. You can't actually change it to a time you really want to perfect and whatever. So other than that, graphics are meh. It sounds though are perfectly fine, I'm pretty sure. Realism and arcade balance, like I talked about in the first one basically. Realistic, the car models are very detailed. Very, very detailed. The map is, I would say, good and detailed. Obviously, we're going to get a new one soon, but for now, this map is, like, good in detail and whatever. Like, obviously, they can't have the most realistic, seeing as it would impact the lag and whatever. But arcade stuff is definitely with the chassis and stuff like that. That is where, like, the whole arcade stuff comes out. And I don't really like it too much. Now, I think that we don't really need to have, like, crash stuff. So, like, if you crash into a wall, your car explodes or something like that. But I think, like, if you crash into a wall at, like, 200 miles per hour, maybe the front glass gets broken, kind of like Forza and stuff and whatever, to make it a little bit more realistic. Because if you crash into a wall at whatever speed, your car's going to get a little bit destroyed. Now, I don't know if Driving Empire would be able to, like, have that in-game and, like, add that. But it would be cool to see. Obviously, you would want the car to still run, but I don't know how well Driving Empire would do that. But the chassis is definitely arcadey, and I kind of want them to change it back to where none of the cars turned really, really quick, and they actually, like, you had to have skill to drive them. The next one, like I said, multiplayer and online features, or, like, multiplayer features or whatever, is, like, how many multiplayer things you can do and how many tournaments, races, and I don't know, stuff like that. And I would say multiplayer races are fine. Like, you know, you get money if you come first, you get a little bit less if you come second and whatever. But other than racing and, like, maybe car meets, there's nothing else to do multiplayer wise. I think if Driving Empire added, like, a feature, which might be very down the line, if Driving Empire added a feature where you could create your own track, only in, like, private servers or whatever, you could create your own track and then host that in a private server. I think that would be a really cool feature to have people connect with other people, if you know what I mean. Like, it'd get people to create interesting stuff and make it a little bit more interesting, because you could have, like, a mix of a highway race and a cross-country race. Like, you know what I mean? It could, like, be an actual interesting feature. But other than racing and car meets, multiplayer is very dry, and, like, I don't really know what else they would be able to do. On the other hand, single player, this game is very boring single player, I'll be honest. Like, I don't know if Driving Empire, I'm sorry if, like, I hurt you, Voldix, if I say that, but other than grinding, I mean, you can't even really grind solo anymore. Like, you have to actually have someone else. And, like, even if you have an alt account, that's not really grinding solo. That's having, like, another thing there to help you grind. Solo grinding right now is actually horrendous. You can't do any, like, races solo. I mean, you can do the solo bit here, but as soon as you completed all the goals, that's it. You can't do anything else. Like, I can't do anything else and then get any more money from doing solo races. So grinding solo is horrible. I do wish they bring jobs back so it, like, helps people grind a bit more. But other than, like, racing, I guess, solo for a couple races, solo is actually not that good. They should have, like, some stuff where you can actually carry on doing the races, even though it won't give as much. Like, say for example the highway race, when it gives like 25k for coming first, if you do the race solo, you should get like 10k, and it would stay at 10k at the final bit. I think that's what they should do, because it would allow people to grind solo, but obviously it wouldn't give the same amount. Maybe not 10k, maybe like 15k, 20k or something like that. I don't know, a little bit less, but I think people should still be able to grind highway and, like, races solo. It's just it should give a little bit less money, you know, to make it impactful. I don't know. Number 7 is innovation in features. So, like I was talking about, nighttime, changing the weather, DLC stuff. And I'll be honest, like I was talking about before, you can change the time, you can change the weather, like heavy rain. Oh, you can change the time of day, like you can change it to nighttime. Very dark, actually. Like, you can do all this, and, like, when you're in the rain, it has, like, a fire effect Like, this is cool, but like I was talking about, you can't actually change the time to like a custom time. It's all set times. You got either day, dusk, dawn, cycle, sunset, sunrise, and night. It's nothing actually set, if you know what I mean. It's nothing actually custom, so I feel like they should add like that. Other than that, DLCs like car packs and whatever, I think they're fine. Like, you can get an Audi, McLaren, Hennessy, Pagani. Like, loads of big games have loads of car packs as well. I will say big games do have a lot more cars in the car packs, or like DLCs. These only have like 2 or 1, but other than that, it's not really that expensive, I think. Like, Audi pack is 800 Robux, this is 1400. These two are the really expensive ones. I'm pretty sure each one of these is 4,000 Robux. So, those ones are really expensive, but these ones are on the cheaper side and whatever. The next one is accessibility, like I talked about. Ease of learning, so how, like, good the game can be impactful to beginners, or like how easy it is to understand. Customization difficulty, so like how well the game lets you learn, I guess, like driving assist, whatever, and like racing AI challenges and stuff like that, I guess. And I will say, ease of learning, beginner stuff isn't really that hard. I know it's Roblox and loads of people are literally kids. It's pretty simple. You get a car that's quick, you drive that car that's quick, and that's the whole thing. Like, there's so many YouTube videos about stuff, and I'm going to make a video soon. It's not too hard. I will say the AI stuff, like with the racing, people still think that the AI bots, if they take like first place, they take money away, which they do not, but people still think that. So I think they should have like a warning when you go into the race, or like you do like a race and saying the bots do not take money or something like that. I don't know if they have that already, but I think they should have that. But other than that, the accessibility is not too bad, I guess. I don't know, there is the race hub, but I swear no one uses the race hub. I think it's the most useless thing in the game. I hope they don't add it on the new map. But other than that, you know, it's okay. The one before the final point is replayability. So once you complete the game, once you unlock like cars, once you unlock houses, once you know, buy stuff, how well you can like replay the game. And like how well, I guess, it works in multiplayer and single player game. If you're playing single player, it'll keep you replaying the game, and same with multiplayer. And I'll say this is where Driving Empire screws up, like actually like horribly. Once you collect every single thing in the game, I've completed this game for a while now, and so many other YouTubers have as well. Like, they've bought every single car, they've bought everything. I know, like, as a YouTuber, you buy stuff every update, you showcase it, and that's kind of it, really. But other than that, Driving Empire is very, very boring. Like, if you've done everything, like, you've bought simply everything in the game, you have everything, you can't do anything else. Driving Empire is very boring in that aspect. Now, I couldn't really suggest anything to ROBLOX to add to make it less boring, because I don't actually honestly know. But don't add Rebirth either, no. I don't think Driving Empire could really do anything. I don't honestly know, but the game, I do still kind of hop on Driving Empire every once in a while to drive like cars around that actually sound good. This is not one of them. Other than that, the game is just done, really, for me. I've done everything I can. Like, the only thing I do now is make videos, which, you know, that's what I do, but it's not overly that fun. I think they should have something in game, maybe have some of their, like, people who have ideas think of something that they could do. I have no idea. And then the overall polish, which is the final point, which is bugs, glitches, and like user interface. Now, I will say the UI is lovely. We've had this UI for so long, and so many people are used to it. Like, this is just, I don't think Driving Empire could change it, really. They had the UI change a while ago, and it kind of grew on me. I don't mind if that UI gets added in, but other than that, like, the UI is fine. Everything is basically like very similar. Like, you go here, it's similar to this. You go to settings, it's similar. You go to teleport, it's similar. You go to shop. This is where it's like kind of not similar. But other than that, everything else is basically close to each other. So I would say the user interface is fine. Nothing is really broken with that. And everything is very easy to go around. Like, it's very simple. I think you search a car, you have bikes, you have helicopters, you have boats, you know, it's very simple. Bugs and glitches, I will say there's actually a few glitches I think in game. Now, I don't know if they've been patched or whatever, but those actually cause issues, I think. I think the main one was that, like, the acceleration bug. I think it has been patched now. The game overall with going over all these points, I would not say is the best game out there for a car game. And I wouldn't say it's the best overall, because there are plenty of Roblox games that do their own thing, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it. But there are plenty of good Roblox car games out there, like Midnight Racing Tokyo, Midnight Chasers, and Driving Empire. Like, those 3 games are all really good in their own way, I guess. The main thing standing up for Driving Empire right now is how well the game looks, how popular it is, and most of all, we're having licensed cars, which is the only really point that people keep bringing up with the game. Other than licensed cars, Driving Empire has no big thing for them. Like, I'm pretty sure a load of old Driving Empire players do not like this new chassis. Rikiko quit over the chassis, and unless Voldex like fixes it, the game is just gonna carry on being very arcadey, and I don't like it, honestly. I kind of like the old like chassis before, where you actually had to have skill to drive, which I wasn't that good. But now, because of this new chassis, I could actually probably get on one of the leaderboards, which honestly, I shouldn't get on a leaderboard. I'm not a good racer. I think they should definitely change the chassis if they can to make it more realistic. But other than that, the game, to me, like I said, is probably one of the best to go out there for car games on Roblox. Now, you can get games like Crew Motorfest, Forza Horizon 5, and then I'm pretty sure Forza Horizon 6 is coming out later this year or something, or next year. But for now, Driving Empire is going to be at the top, and I think it'll be at the top for a while. But overall, that's my opinion. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. And yes, I did use AI for this because I did not come up with points. But anyway, tell me what you think about my points and how well you would actually score Driving Empire against other games. Also, I know this video is a little bit long. I had to include everything. I didn't want to make anything not be included. Other than that, have a good day.